Gilles Bisson is here in Ottawa today for a leadership forum. First question, Gilles. What do you offer that the other candidates don't offer in this leadership race?
I think I offer a number of things. First of all, I have the experience. I've been a member of the legislature since 1990. I understand the discipline of government. I understand how the legislature works, and I understand how government works. But more importantly, I understand Ontario. A lot of people will argue, they did at the beginning of this campaign, they're not anymore, that what we needed to win, the recipe was we had to have somebody from downtown Toronto. I say, listen, Toronto is important, obviously, but there are a lot of other ridings around Ontario that are in play that we can win. And I'm best positioned to be able to not only win Toronto, but to win a lot of other places that other people can't connect to. I understand the issues of small town Ontario, rural Ontario, northern Ontario, urban Ontario, north, south, east, and west. So I think that's one of the great assets that I have, is that experience of the knowledge of the issues and being known across the province far more than any one of my other candidates. The other thing is I'm fluently bilingual, and it is an issue. And here in eastern Ontario, you have lots of ridings, as we do in northern Ontario, where the first language is French. And we need to be able to, as a party, to communicate with them, to be able to say, hey, there's somebody here that understands you, understands your issues, and will be there for you. So I think a combination of experience, my passion, and the ability to understand Ontario and to communicate in French effectively, I think is a good mix.
Is there a big idea that you think is going to dominate the next election campaign, and a big idea that you think the Ontario NDP can win with?
It's all about the economy. It really is that the party needs to understand that the problem that we have electorally is that everybody gives the NDP credit when it comes to the issue of social programs. They say, if there's one thing I can trust, it's a New Democrat to protect health care and to protect public education. The only problem is they look at us and they say, how are you going to pay for it? People know that our health system is under siege. It's been underfunded for years, and it doesn't work as well as it needs to. I think that's part of the Tory strategy, Liberal strategy. Underfund it, make it break, bring in the private sector. But I think what we need to say to people, in order to preserve health care, we understand you've got to build a stronger economy. And what we need to do as a party to be very clear about wealth creation is a good thing. Wealth creation means to say that you've got people investing in your economy, you've got people that have the ability to go out and to build a stronger economy, you're able to create jobs through that, but more importantly, have the revenue as a government to be able to pay for things like health care. If our only message in the next election is, vote for me and I'll raise your taxes, or I'll only tax the richer people in our society, I think it's a losing message. I think what we need to say is, it's not by creating more taxes on one class of the population or other. It's about how you grow a stronger economy so that at the end we have the finances to be able to pay for what we want. The other kicker is, we as Social Democrats are well positioned to say, we will use the full authority we have as a government to help you create wealth in this province. But here's the deal. You will treat the environment with respect by having good laws. We will make sure that we have good laws protecting workers when it comes to anti-scab legislation and other pieces of legislation that are necessary, and for employers to take the responsibility to their communities. And I think we're in a position to be able to do that, and it's a credible message.
On the economy, a frequent criticism of the NDP is that it doesn't believe in the market, that it doesn't actually believe in business, doesn't understand how business works, that it's anti-business, and you hear commentators say that. A lot of ordinary people believe that. How do you reverse that impression?
Well, I think you reverse it by being very straight that we get it, that we understand that wealth creation is good. And anybody in this party who says, I want a leader that is not going to take the economy seriously and doesn't want to create wealth, shouldn't vote for me, because I am about trying to build a stronger Ontario, because I get it. I'm a trade unionist. I come out of the labor movement. I was with the United Steelworkers working underground in the gold mines of Northern Ontario. And I understand if my employer made money, I can go negotiate a better collective agreement. And when I negotiate a better collective agreement, it's not only good for me and my family, it's good for my community, because that money's recycled. So the key for us is to say to people, we get it. Tommy Douglas got it. He inherited a government that was badly in debt by the Liberals. He took 10 years to turn that economy around and to put his books in good shape, and then he was the father of Medicare. But he dealt with the economy first, and if New Democrats are credible in Western Canada, I think that is a big part of the reason.
One more question. Everybody's excited about the success of Barack Obama, and I think personally, I think one of the things that Obama did well is he built bridges between constituencies that didn't always see eye to eye, that often saw themselves as adversarial. How would you apply Obama's example to the issue you're talking about, to the economy, to the business community, to the sense that the NDP doesn't believe, as I said, in the market?
Well, I think we could learn a couple of things from Obama and what he did well, but I want people to focus on what happened in the Democratic primary. You had Hillary Clinton, you had Obama, two very strong individuals, two candidates with great great ideas. Hillary was just equally as good as Obama was. Some would argue better. What happened with Obama is that he was able to excite the base the same way that Hillary did, but he had a different mechanism to fundraise. He was doing things that nobody else was doing when it comes to fundraising. He was using technologies that nobody else has used and strategies that nobody else used in order to pick up the $25 here, the $50 there, and the $2,000 over up in the other corner. And what that allowed him to do is to build an organization that went out and identified the vote and took the nomination away from Hillary Clinton, because that primary started with Hillary supposing to win. And what made Obama win, he understood it's not just about ideas, it's about having the financial capacity to run a campaign. Then they got into the general election when he won the nomination, and the Republicans couldn't touch him. Why? Because he was out fundraising them, and he can run in every state in the United States, have full campaigns, advertise, do the things that need to be done, pay staff so that they're able to identify their vote. And he won the presidency on the basis of not just good ideas, but the capacity to have the dollars to run a full campaign. Something that we are not doing as a party, and something that I'm totally committed to do, is changing the fundraising rules so that local riding associations, ONDP clubs and others are able to fundraise and keep some of that money themselves so that we can build strong riding associations.
Gilles Bisson, thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you very much, Ish.